Previously, on Cycling Eurasia, I passed through Kazakhstan to have a brief encounter with Eric in his home. The following day, I continued cycling south. While getting my daily dose of vitamin C, I eventually reached the border, being at a point roughly 1,600 kilometers away from when I initially took off back in Ely. I find myself in yet another country. Following along this ancient Silk Road, I aspire to come across monuments that have stood the test of time, generation after generation. My first major stop in Uzbekistan is in the modern capital Tashkent. Most of the city has been completely rebuilt ever since the devastating effects of an earthquake back in 1966.
Hey guys, so I made it to Tashkent, but it wasn't as easy as I hoped it would be. Again, a number of problems. I had a long day and I had to really struggle to get here. Despite only being 20 kilometers from the border, there were a few issues, including one, getting an Uzbek SIM card. A bit of it is my stupidity, I'm to blame, but I had the chance to buy an Uzbek SIM card at the border on the Kazakh side, but I didn't trust those merchants. I feel like they try and take advantage of you, and there was just a lot of people, and it was just very rushed moving back and forth. There wasn't really a lot of time and space to just chill and negotiate a price. But once I got past the border though, I couldn't find any establishments that would sell Uzbek SIM cards, so I was literally stuck with my Kazakh SIM card with no Wi-Fi and no power to use mobile data, and therefore no way to access the internet. I stopped at a convenience store on the Uzbek side to buy some more water and some ice cream, and the merchant there, a very young, pretty lady, she was kind enough to let me use her phone as a Wi-Fi, as a hotspot, and I used that to look for a hotel, just a quick place to stay for the night. And apparently this hotel does not exist because the location that it said it was located at was just a fake one. Like, I was taken to some random place in downtown Tashkent near the Treasury Department and the National Library. I feel like that's just a bit fishy. I mean, there wouldn't be a hotel in the middle of all these government buildings. So I had a hunch that it was fake, but yeah, that didn't work. So I had to go to another place. I was wandering around for a couple hours, lost, trying to figure out a solution. And to make matters worse, as you can see, I'm sunburned on my arms here. The SPF 35 sunscreen that I bought in Bishkek was insufficient. It was not capable to protect my skin against the solar ultraviolet radiation, and that is a real cause for concern. Like, I left my arm sleeves off just for an experiment. I put this cream on and I still got burned. So I'm gonna have to buy some new sunscreen.
So enough of me talking shirtless, and hopefully this won't get used against me by a future employer. The next day, I went to go and buy electronics.
Hey guys, so I'm in the Tashkent metro on my day off, and I'm going to go to the electronics market to look for some more memory cards, and that way I can store more footage in my camera. I'm also going to try and look for a drone that I can purchase to, again, get serene shots of the cities that I go into. So, yeah, wish me luck, and we will see what it looks like inside these trains. And the next one's coming right now. Alright, some good news, guys. I managed to find the head strap that will be able to hold my GoPro as I'm cycling on my head, and I'll be able to make better quality videos without the wobbling, in addition to the SanDisk. I also upgraded my tires so they're a bit sturdier than before, and hopefully there'll be less punctures. But yeah, one interesting thing I wanted to point out in Uzbekistan is that almost all the cars are colored white, which is just fascinating. It's the most popular color. And in the neighboring country, Turkmenistan, it is mandatory to have a white colored car because any other color is simply illegal according to their government. And yeah, this is something that's different from all the other Central Asian countries, like in Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan. I didn't notice this trend, but
Here's just a little interesting fact that I wanted to point out. And that over there is the Central Bank of Uzbekistan, where they print all the currency. So, yeah, just a little bit of tourism I'm doing on my second day off. But tomorrow I will hit the road.
I also made a new friend named Sardor, and he gave me a personalized tour of his city, starting with the well-known Minor Mosque, where Muslims gather for praying.
And this one you can't see.
That's okay, you can talk about
This part is the dark one, and this one usually appears, loves there, and just kisses.
romantic makeup.
Yeah, really romantic place. And this one, as you can see, much more brighter. And this is why people came here, walk and etc. Usually there is much more less people. I don't know why now so many.
A special thanks to you, my friend. I ended up staying in Tashkent longer than planned, crashing at his home for a couple nights after checking out of the hotel. So here I am, walking by one of the main canals, curious to see how some people don't mind swimming in this dirty water.
I guess I don't blame them, because it's a way to beat the heat. But, yeah. It's very fascinating they have such a canal in the middle of the city.
And that was the gist of what I had done in Tashkent, as now I progress towards Samarkand.
Alright, I just left the outskirts of Tashkent, and I'm just gonna pick up some refreshments before I hit the road. Some nice cold beverages. What do they have here besides water? Some iced tea. That looks tempting. Lemonade. I'll grab one of these. And some water. A nice cold one. This should be good. You have Bluetooth speakers here by any chance? Probably not. I'm sorry. Let's go. Rahman, давай. Oh yeah. Just gonna grab a seat very quickly. Oh. Taxi? Need a ride somewhere? No, I'm just kidding. I'm full. Yeah, well, as it turns out, my tire got shot down, so that's not fun. Hopefully I remember how to do this. Let's just see here. Find the puncture. Pull it out. Yeah, that's the culprit. I already got it marked beforehand. So we gotta patch this sucker up. Just deflate it. Again. There we go. Got some crazy glue and a patch. I have some spare cameras, so I can always just use another one, but I want to patch up this one. So I like to reuse, recycle, save the world. But I'm not that far out of Tashkent, so I'm a bit concerned. Nice and glue. Press it down hard. And just keep it like this for a good solid 5 minutes. And she's as good as new. Feels pretty strong. I don't have a cap for it, but yeah, I also dropped about 4.5 liters of water from the back pannier, which I think was a contributing factor to the deflation of my last tube. It was just so heavy in the back, and yeah, I'm gonna put some of these water bottles in the pockets of my back t-shirt, which might cause some minor uncomfort, but yeah. And this is where the highway diverges. M39 goes straight ahead to the border with Kazakhstan, which we will not take. I gotta safely merge left so we can avoid customs and go towards Samarkand. I'm on their radar. Not Britney Spears' radar, but the Uzbekistan government's radar. Should I pull over and eat dinner? I'm still thinking about that. It would require me to get on the other side of the road somehow. But I would like to get a proper meal before nightfall. Alright, let's go for it. Yeah, so I am watching the sunset at this restaurant right here. I think it's important to have a good meal before I go to bed. If I have the chance to take it, I should, as opposed to just eating hard bread. I've only cycled about 63 kilometers, which is, again, a failure on my part. I consistently fail to reach my goals. And yeah, it's about 7:45, quarter to 8. I'll try pushing a bit longer, but I'm gonna have to find a camping point somewhere on the way before I reach Gulistan.
Indeed, that's what happened. I decided to camp in Sidaria, and that's what brings this episode to a close. So thank you for watching as usual, ladies and gentlemen. Please consider making a donation, it always helps, and see you next time.